Welcome back to the Old Head Reviews channel. In this video, we're going to react, break down, and spoil episode 7 of the Book of Boba Fett. Let's go. Welcome back to the channel. As always, I'm your host, Joey Sparks. That's 2 E's, no Y. You heard me, that's 2 E's, no Y. And let's get into this episode's breakdown and spoiler review. Before we get started, make sure you like, subscribe, notification bell, up an algorithm. Thanks for helping me out. Let's get into this review. Really quick, this week's episode is super long, so we don't have time to break down everything, so I might run through some of the plot setup points and not linger on things too long to make sure we get through this. We pick up at the Blown Bar. I think they call it the Asylum. Boba Fett, Fennec Shand, and Mando are here. Mando proceeds to tell Boba Fett that Cobb Vanth and the people of Freetown are assembling and they're on their way to bring backup. Then we find out that the town leaders who swore that they would be neutral in the war against the Pikes aren't being neutral in the war against the Pikes. In this scene, we also find out that the Pikes are the people who killed the Tusken Raiders that Boba Fett was part of. Next, we see R2-D2 in an X-Wing pulling up to the planet.
What's an X-Wing doing here?
Yeah, what's an X-Wing doing here?
Stay in here, lock it up, will you?
He chose the chainmail. He chose it.
Go. Move it over here. Okay, move it over there. Go! You heard me? Quit it. Hello, officer! Hi, officer! I filed for my new Republic certification seal just as you were landing. Quite a coincidence, if you ask me.
Yeah, that's R2. Yes!
Well, look who it is! Aw, they teach you how to fly an X-Wing already. I know an astromech flew the ship.
No. No way. Oh, R2 flew him. Okay.
The Mandalorian? He's not here. I don't know. He's on the job of Mos Espa. But just slow down. Give me a second. You just got here. Let me say hello to my old pal. Well, hello, Bright Eye. Come here. Ah, Grogu? Whoa, that's a terrible name. Sorry about that, pal. Why am I calling you that? What do you have here, huh? Something shiny. Well, look at you. You must be starving. Bring in some downward.
And before anyone gets their hopes up, you didn't think Disney Plus was going to spend enough money to put Luke in 2 episodes digitally, did you? Of course not. We find out that the one thing I think I got right this season was Grogu chose the chainmail and he wants to be a Mandalorian. We cut back to the Asylum. Boba Fett gets word from his droid that someone wants to speak to him. We find out that it's Cad Bane. Now, Cad Bane and Boba Fett had a history. Actually had an unreleased animated episode where we got to find out some history and where Cad Bane actually mentored Boba Fett a little bit. Anyways, we get this standoff. Cad Bane says, you gotta get out of Pike business. And Boba Fett says no. He says, this is my town and these are my people, which is kind of showing more of Boba Fett enjoying the tribe. Like, he needs a tribe. That's the whole reason. He doesn't want to be a crime lord. He just wants a tribe. And this tribe just so happens to be the town or the city. You know what I mean? Cad Bane tells him that the Pikes actually killed his Tusken Raider tribe. And before Boba Fett has a chance to act irrationally, Fennec Shand calms him down and tells him it's not the time nor place. Then we cut to all the different parts of Boba Fett's crew getting hemmed up. The Gregorian guards, the Chrysanthemum, the mods are getting pinned down. Well, the mods actually eventually get saved by Fennec Shand. And then we cut back to the Asylum, where Mando and Boba Fett have a moment where they vow to fight in the name of honor with one another. In a last-ditch effort to be a little bit of use, is it the Major Domo guy? He steps up to be the negotiator, and Boba Fett writes his terms on a notepad. He takes those terms out to the Pike Syndicate, who has the asylum surrounded. He starts reading it to them and realizes that Boba Fett, he negotiates with nothing. And then we get to the best part of the episode. We get a Mando and Boba Fett fight scene. No. Let's go. Woo! Oh yeah. Let's go. Let's go. Yes, see, where was this the whole season? Yo, ooh, trying. Best car save. Neat. See? Let's go. More. More shots. More fire. Oh, behind you. Flankage. Yep. Snipers. Best car is ill. Yo. Get up. There's too many. Wow. Yo. Oh, shit. Ooh. What was they called? Whispering Robins or some shit? Bitch. Oh, don't you ever shoot us in the back, you bitch asshole. Oh my god. Beskar is phenomenal. Yo, y'all gotta something. Who's coming to save? I mean, we're talking knee rockets. We had knee rockets, bro. Like, and it was they were so complimentary of one another in this first initial part of the end fight scene. Right when they're about to get overtaken, here comes the people of Freetown minus Cobb Vanth. They pull up in a little hovercraft type of deal. They hop out, everyone's shooting, and then they get to a point that they actually run off the Pike Syndicate, but that's only because here they come in with these, I think they're called like Scorpion Walkers or something like that. You've seen a version of this in the prequels and then the Clone Wars or whatnot, and they have this protective shield around them. And I thought that was cheap, man. Like in this dusty ass town, you wouldn't have brought them out first. You brought just people like out and worried about your numbers, but you have a pair of these. So anyways, it took a long, and this is where I think it dragged. It dragged on too long. It's too long of them fighting that. It took them like forever to show, okay, we can't break through the shield. And then after that, it was like, what if we try this? And what if we try that? What do you know? Here comes Miss Moto with Grogu. And so that kind of raises the stakes for Mando, you know what I mean? But I did notice Grogu do the force jump that he learned up into Mando's arms. I thought that was really dope. And I smiled. I really lit up because, you know, the storyline of the Mandalorian and Grogu is what excited me. Whereas I just feel let down with this Boba Fett arc and timeline.
Hey, Mando! Look who's here!
What? Hey, what are you doing here?
Oh,
Okay, little guy.
he learned to jump.
I didn't know when I'd see you again. It's okay. Yeah, I missed you too, buddy. But, we're in a bit of a bind here right now.
Finally, we get to, you know, Boba Fett saying, hey, I'll be right back. And of course, we know he's going to get his Rancor. Which, even then, when it came, it was kind of cool watching him ride the Rancor, but it was just, it wasn't super effective against these droids. And then he needed Mando's help to kill the first one. Like, luckily, they allowed him to kill the last one by himself. Otherwise, what did Boba Fett really do? And they end up killing the second one, and then we have the standoff. We have the standoff between Cad Bane and Boba Fett. Now, Boba Fett speaks to the fact that he has armor, and that's what gives him advantage in this duel. But I think it's a metaphor to like his family and his community that being his armor, and that's why he'll win in this scenario. And those who are selfish are going to lose. Okay. So, anyways, in the initial draw off, Boba Fett does get bested by Cad Bane, but then snaps into his roots and grabs his gaffy stick and uses his Tusker Raider training and gaffy stick to take down Cad Bane. He ends up killing Cad Bane, so Cad Bane's time in the live action world was short lived, but it was dope to have him in there. He was a super, super dope character, and at least that he was in here once, maybe we can see him pop up in a different portion of the timeline in live action in a further series somewhere else, if that makes sense. Who knows? The Kenobi, the Ahsoka. There's plenty of places where he can show up, right? After Boba Fett kills Cad Bane, we cut to a gathering of all the city officials and heads meeting with the Pike. And all of a sudden you hear footsteps around and there's blaster fire coming in. And then one by one, all the heads go down and they get killed. And then who do we find out who's the one who killed the final bad guy? The one who killed the Tusken Raiders group? The leader of the Pikes? Fennec Shan? Bro, you dropped a ball on this. Oh my god. Yo, Boba out here killing all the heads of the family. Ooh. Oh, yo, he out here like Batman. Oh my god. Like, you killed my family, bro. Oh! Oh! Salt! Why? They killed the Tuskens. Boba should have been the one making this killing. This is why people didn't enjoy Boba Fett throughout the whole thing, is because you're taking places where he could be a badass away from him, where he could establish dominance away from him. And it's all just to this work, to all this crime work that everybody has to do for Boba just so he can have a family. No, Boba got to shed blood too. After that, we see this final scene of Boba Fett and Fennec Shan kind of walking through the streets, kind of collecting bows and appreciation for the way that they run their town. They didn't retreat off into Boba Fett's palace to fight. They stayed in the town and fought so that the town and community know that he's for the people, blah, 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 blah. And then we get a final scene of Boba Fett and his crew, and it just kind of pans up and then blends into another final scene, which was a final scene between the Mandalorian and Grogu flying in the M1 starfighter, and Grogu was in the compartment in the back and he had the ball and he was tapping on the glass and he wanted Mando to do something, and then you find out that it was to go faster, and that's how we end, them two speeding off into season 3 of The Mandalorian. And here's, once again, another writing faux pas. You could have easily switched that scene out with the final scene of Boba Fett and Fennec Shan walking through the town, and then ended the season kind of more like a Boba Fett ending instead of like this setup for Mandalorian season 3. All right, now that we're done with that, let me get on to some of my critiques here, okay? Once again, I felt like you're taking away key moments for Boba Fett to establish dominance, and he's, it's Fennec Shan running all the plans. Fennec Shan's the one who's saving the mod gang. Fennec Shan is the one who's calming him down so he doesn't act on impulse during the showdown between Cad Bane in the streets. It's Fennec Shan who kills the final boss and who gets revenge for what should be Boba Fett's revenge for the Pike Syndicate killing his Tusken Raider family. Is that just me, or do you feel the same? Let me know in the comments. It's things like that that gotta make me score this down. Now, did I love that fight scene this week? Yes, I sure as hell loved that fight scene this week, but it wasn't enough. The Rancor scene was dope. Don't get me wrong, that was super, super dope. And it takes it back to the old, hell, in my mind, I was getting visions of the old Christmas special Boba Fett cartoon animated thing. But, you know, it was short-lived by, you know, just being dragged out so long and ineffective against those energy shields. I just thought that was a horrible bad guy. They needed a bigger bad guy. The pikes weren't big enough, so you brought out machinery. In my mind, that's bad writing, and I got to take away a lot for that. So, you know, when we were already happy at all the Mandalorian storyline, and we were wondering how are you going to bring it back to be a Boba Fett series at the end, just feel like you dropped it. And so, you know, as much as I was happy with like episode 2, I really thought that had great story arc and really passionate, powerful scenes in that for Boba Fett's character arc. But then it started to take a downturn until we got to the Mandalorian episode, and then I brought us up for 2 episodes. So you just put, you know, you painted him into a corner. And so for that, I'm going to say 5 out of 10. And that's only because I got a fire-ass scene out of the Mandalorians, the duo combo. And then some of the times when, you know, the Mandalorian and Grogu story seemed to be pushing forward. Those things, those made me smile. Those made me happy. And just as a finale, trying to wrap up Boba Fett's story, I just feel like it just didn't do it. So, yeah, you know, sue me. I'm a Star Wars fan, too. I thought it was trash. I want to thank everybody. As a review channel, this is my first series review. Doing weekly is a tough task that I put myself to, especially with my busy schedule as is. But I'm really proud of myself that I got all the way through it. And anybody who watched even 30 seconds to count as a view of any of my reviews this season, I just wanted to thank you personally. This is like a milestone for me to kind of get through my first series, and I don't intend on stopping. You know, I'm going to figure out how to squeeze these in, and I'm going to figure out my niche, the best way I want to bring breakdowns and reviews of some of the series and / movies that I enjoy. Okay, I hope you enjoyed some of the reaction footage that I tried to incorporate in there. With this being the finale, it was a lot of reaction footage to go through, so there's a lot of dry spots, but I think kind of taking the exciting spots and the actual reactions and fitting them in here somehow really worked. So once again, I just want to send a bunch of appreciation to anyone who supported Old Head Reviews thus far, and I look forward to just doing more and more reviews in the future with you, okay? So that'll be it for my review for the finale and the season of the Book of Boba Fett. Once again, this is Old Head Reviews. I'm Joey Sparks. Appreciate all the love. If you could once again consider hitting that subscribe button, you can help us in the algorithms, and I'll see you on the next review. Peace.